The US and Israel continue to strike Iran today as President Trump's deadline for Tehran to agree a deal and reopen the Strait of Hormuz looms. The president doubled down on his threats today, saying a whole civilization will die tonight if agreement is not reached by 1 a.m. Irish time. Iran said that it would no longer hold back from hitting civilian infrastructure of its Gulf neighbours.
As the clock ticks down to Donald Trump's deadline, several rescue operations are already ramping up across Iran. This residential block in Tehran was one of at least 17 civilian targets struck so far today, according to the Iranian Red Crescent. And far worse could be to come, with US President Donald Trump today warning on social media that a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. However, he also appeared to leave open the possibility of a deal, suggesting that less radicalised minds in Iran may prevail and something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. It comes just hours before his 1 a.m. deadline for Iran to end its effective blockade of the crucial Strait of Hormuz or face intensive attacks on bridges and power plants. But Iran remains defiant, at least publicly, today releasing these images of missile launches while warning that the entire region will fall into complete darkness if the US attacks Iran's power plants. The regime has also been encouraging civilians to join human chains around energy facilities, with hundreds of people, including children, beginning to gather this afternoon. But already today, there have been reports of strikes on Kharg Island, which hosts Iran's main oil terminal, while Israel has confirmed it has targeted railways and bridges inside Iran. These intensified attacks coming on the day of a looming deadline, amid growing fears of an even more dangerous phase of this regional war. Kate Varley, RT News.
A short time ago, a United Nations Security Council draft resolution calling for the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz was defeated after Russia and China vetoed it. Our global security reporter Yvonne Murray is in New York for us. So, Yvonne, what's the significance of this vote now, coming as it does just hours before President Trump's deadline?
Yeah, well, Eileen, it was significant in that we expected that Russia and China would abstain from this resolution because they wanted it to go through. Every country in the world wants the Strait of Hormuz to reopen. They vetoed it, we understand, as a result of Donald Trump ratcheting up the rhetoric this morning. I mean, clearly here at the United Nations there is outrage by those comments he made about the threat for a whole civilization to die. But also that condemnation is going on in Washington as well. We're seeing that familiar split along party lines. Obviously, the Democrats in particular condemning what he had to say. One senator, in fact, calling it the rantings of a bloodthirsty lunatic. But we're also seeing a heavy criticism on the Republican side, Donald Trump's own party as well, a feeling that this is going too far. Now, as you mentioned, just a few short hours to go to that deadline. There is still hope that there will be some kind of climb down, some kind of deal reached in that time. But in the absence of any indication of that, Eileen, at the moment, the world is still holding its breath.
All right, Yvonne, at the UN in New York, thank you. Here, the Minister for Finance has warned that Ireland will see higher inflation due to the Iran war. Simon Harris said the conflict will have a profound economic impact, but Ireland was well positioned to withstand economic shocks. He was speaking as the Department of Finance released figures showing taxes were up by over 3% in the first 3 months of this year.
Decisions that will be made in the coming hours will have profound global economic impact in one direction or the other. Now, today's figures show that the Irish economy remains in a position of relative strength, but we do have to be honest, there is an impact to all of this, and we have to manage it by responding in the round and not just in the moment. We know there are profound implications for global energy supply, for trade routes, and indeed for global economic stability.
Well, let's get more on this from our Economics and Public Affairs editor, David Murphy, who's here. So, relatively positive figures, David, but still a lot of worries about the future.
Yeah, I guess the good news first is that the economy is performing relatively well. We can see income tax is up about 6% in the first 3 months of the year, shows a strong jobs market. VAT is up about a similar amount, shows strong consumer spending. But there it kind of ends, because there were very dark economic warnings coming from the Department of Finance this afternoon, saying while the economy is relatively strong, it is going to face a period of much higher inflation. We've already had indications of that. And then there's the second issue about energy supply. And certainly it is forcing a change in thinking within the Irish government. Both Simon Harris and the Minister for Public Expenditure, Jack Chambers, said that they should be open-minded towards the use of nuclear energy in future, and Ireland shouldn't be excluded from any kind of debate on that. Now, up to now, Ireland has really ruled out using nuclear at all, so it is quite a change in policy, but that's something for the medium to long term. At the moment, they're facing a short-term crisis, and we're going to have to see how that plays out in terms of demand for fuel, in terms of fuel supplies, but also in terms of the higher cost of living, which we can now expect coming down the track in the next few weeks.
All right, David Murphy, thank you.